The common ringtail possum is an Australian marsupial. It lives in a variety of habitats and eats a variety of leaves from both native and introduced plants, as well as flowers, fruits and sap. This possum also consumes a special type of feces that is excreted during the daytime when it rests in the nest. This behavior is called secotrophy and is similar to that seen in rabbits. Description: a common ring-tailed possum weighs between 550 and 1100 grams and is approximately 30-35 centimeters in rearing, not counting the tail, which is again about the same length. He has gray or black fur with white spots behind his eyes and usually a creamy belly. It has a long, prehensile tail, which usually has a characteristic white tip for 25% of its length. Hind legs, syndactyly, which helps him to rise. The molars of the ringed possum have sharp and pointed tubercles. Distribution and habitat. The common opossum ringed possum is found on the east coast of Australia, as well as in Tasmania and parts of southwestern Australia. They usually live in temperate and tropical climates and are rarely found in drier conditions. Ringtail opossums prefer dense forests, especially eucalyptus forests. The common ring-tailed possum and its relatives occupy a number of niches, similar to the niches of lemurs, monkeys, squirrels and bush babies in similar forests on other continents. It is less fertile and less common than the common-tailed opossum. Behavior. The common opossum ringtail is nocturnal and well adapted to life in trees. It relies on its prehensile tail and rarely descends to the ground. They communicate with quiet, high-pitched and twittering calls. Diet and feeding. The common ringtail possum feeds on a wide variety of plants in the Myrtaceae family, including foliage, flowers and fruits of shrubs and plants. Lower canopy. It is also known that some populations feed on cypress leaves, catkins, and plant gums or resins. When feeding, ringtail possums prefer young leaves to old ones. One study found that the emergence of young opossums from sacs was consistent with flowering and fruiting of the tea tree, leptospermum, and peak growth of fresh plants. Young eucalyptus leaves are richer in nitrogen and have less dense cell walls than older leaves, however, the protein obtained from them is less available due to the higher amount of tannins. During feeding, the molars of the possum cut through the leaves, cutting them into pieces. The opossum cecum separates small particles from large ones. These particles remain in the cecum for up to 70 hours, where the cell walls and tanned cytoplasts are partially digested. What separates the digestive system of the common ringed possum from the digestive system of the koala and the larger glider is that the cecum is carried back into the stomach. This allows the opossum ringtail to get more protein. Lagomorphs such as rabbits and pikas also do this. Solid feces are formed during the night during feeding and are not eaten, while soft feces are formed during the day during rest and are eaten. Re-ingesting the contents of the cecum also serves to maintain the energy balance of the ring-tailed possum. Ring-tailed opossums derive most of their gross energy from overeating. The common opossum with a ring tail has a daily nitrogen requirement of 290 mg per kilogram. Common ring-tailed opossums get most of their daily intake by consuming nitrogen-rich sisal pellets. Otherwise, they would have to gain 620 mg per kilogram. The ringtail opossum converts 96% of the urea in the liver, which is then carried into the cecum and converted into bacterial protein. Only repeated meals makes this effective, and the bacterial protein must be digested in the stomach and amino acids subsequently absorbed in the small intestine. This processing also allows the possum to conserve water and urinate less. Re-eating feed allows the possum to live on eucalyptus leaves with low nitrogen content, which is especially important during late lactation. Nesting. Common ring-tailed possums lead a sociable lifestyle based on their community life. Nests, also called drywalls. Ringtail opossums build nests from tree branches and sometimes use tree hollows. The common nest consists of an adult female and an adult male, their dependent offspring and the immature offspring of the previous year. A group of ringtail opossums can build multiple drakes at different locations. Ringtail possums are territorial and will drive away any strange relatives from their nests. The group has a strong attachment to their site. In one experiment in which a group was removed from their territory, it remained uncolonized for the next 2 years. Ring-tailed possum nests are generally more common in low-lying thickets and less common in heavily wooded areas with a small elevated floor. Reproduction and growth. Like a marsupial, the common ring-tailed possum carries its young in a pouch where it develops. Mating season may be from April to December, depending on the locality. Most of the young are born between May and July. The ester cycle of the ringtail possum lasts 28 days. It can be both polyester and polyovular. If a female loses her litter prematurely, she can return to the current and produce a second litter as a replacement if conditions are right. The average litter is 2, although triplets are rare. Juveniles of the common ring-tailed opossum tend to grow relatively slowly due to the diluted, low-lipid milk that is provided to the young. Like other marsupials, ringtail opossum milk changes during lactation. During the second phase of lactation, more solid food is consumed, especially when the cubs first emerge from the pouch. During this time, the concentration of carbohydrates decreases, and the concentration of proteins and lipids reaches its maximum value. Prolonged lactation of ringtail opossums may give young adults more time to learn skills in a shared nest and to climb and feed in trees. Young people can't sing and open their eyes for the first time at the age of 90 and 106 days of age. They leave their mother's pouch after 120 to 130 days. However, lactation usually lasts up to 180-220 days after birth, but sometimes ends by 145 days. Both sexes become sexually mature in the first mating season after birth. Status: the populations of common ringtail possums declined dramatically during the 1950s. Recently, however, the population appears to have recovered. Because they are mostly arboreal, common ring-tailed opossums are particularly affected by deforestation in Australia. They are also heavily hunted by introduced European foxes. They are also hit by cars or killed by cats and dogs in suburban areas.